Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Cheryl Mother Unfiltered Real Talk. I want to talk about single ladies and single men dating men or women separated. Would you date someone that's separated from their significant other? Would you even entertain it? Or would you think that it's a red flag and you will walk away? And that's a tough thing because it happens a lot. It happens to most people that, when a married couple that's separated and then they're out and about with their friends or vice versa, and then they see someone they look attractive and then they start talking and, engaging in conversation about anything. And then next you know it, one thing leads to another, exchanging numbers, then start talking again the next day and, going on coffee dates or whatever the case might be, and then feeling starts to get involved. And then next you know it, the person tells you, by the way, I'm separated from my wife or my husband, but we technically still married. What do you do in that situation? Would you still entertain it and still date the person? Or would you believe what the person's telling you? Because 9 out of 10, when couples separate from their significant other, they tend to work out. You know what I mean? They tend to work out their marriage, the sake of their children, the sake of all the history that they had together, and they tend to get back together. But what leads to the other person, that the other person spend their time and invest in this relationship with that person? What happens to them? You know what I mean? And I feel like it's not fair. First of all, it's selfish. It's thinking about themselves and not the other person's feelings. And sometimes it can lead to dangerous territories, meaning that the woman or the man can have ill feelings about that person's going back to their wife or husband and may do something crazy, because these days people are crazy. People are nuts. You know what I mean? And when someone really like or love that person, they don't want to let that person go. And it tends to happen all the time. And my advice is, if a man or a woman tells you that they're married, however, they're separated, I will run for the hills. Run far, far away. Because they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. You know what I mean? They can tell you what you want to hear. You know what I mean? And it may sound good. It may sound like, okay, this person's gonna leave their wife or their husband, blah blah blah. When the case might be, they might not do that. You know what I mean? Because they want what they want. They want to like step out of their marriage and have their freedom and have their fun. You know what I mean? And sometimes it does happen that way. And sometimes they do end up getting a divorce, and the divorce is finalized and that's it. And then you live your life. And I feel like that's the right thing to do. I don't think, in my opinion, that a single woman or a man should date a man that's separated or a woman that's separated. I rather wait until the divorce is finalized. Then that's done. That's over with. That's in the past, and then we can start fresh. You know what I mean? We can start fresh. Then you don't have to deal with the baggage, because, like I said, you don't want to invest your time, your energy into a man or a woman and end up finding out that this person is never going to leave their husband. This person is never going to leave their wife for the sake of their children. And then where that leaves you, again, another woman or a mistress or whatever the case might be. And how's that fair for the other person? It's not. It's not fair. It's very selfish, and it's very what's the word? Not mindful. You know what I mean? Not mindful. And it's a dangerous thing. You know what I mean? It's a dangerous thing. Like, I don't know if you guys watch Dateline or Lifetime, but sometimes it can go all the way to the far left, because you just never know people's mindset. You know what I mean? A person can be really, really in love with this man or woman, and they don't want to let them go. So what they end up doing, God forbid, killing the wife, killing the husband, because the husband or wife realize they really love their spouse, and then they realize that they don't want to leave them. So they're willing to work on their marriage and stay. And sometimes some people can't handle that. They really can't, because they really were in love with that person. They really invested their time and their energy with that person. So why should this man or woman go back to their spouse when they can just stay with me? It does happen half the time. And that's a really, really dangerous thing. It really is. That's why, in my opinion, run for the hills. Why even entertain it? Unless their divorce is finalized, do not date a man that's separated. Because I'm telling you, men lie. And so do women too. I'm not going to just put it on the men. Women lie too, just to get what they want, just to be selfish. And it's just not right. If you're single, find a single man, find a single lady. Then you don't have to deal with the headache and the nonsense. It's just too messy, and it's just not Christ-like to date to date a married man that's separated, or a married woman. I don't care what anyone says. If you're separated from your wife or husband, you are legally still married. Until the judge finalizes the divorce, you're still married. Point blank, period. I don't care how you dress it up. I don't care how you sugarcoat it. You're still married. Period. That's it. Until it says divorce on the final line, you're still married. And in my opinion, I don't think anyone should date anyone. And some people say, well, we've been separated for a long time, like 10 years or a year or two or three years. Okay, if you've been separated that long, then why are you not getting a divorce? What's holding you up then? If the marriage is done and dissolved and there's no hope, why stay married? What's the whole purpose? Tax purposes? You don't want to pay child support? What is it then? Then it makes no sense. If you're done, both parties, then why you can't just go get a divorce? Plain and simple. You can't afford it, get a second job. You know what I mean? Like, do what you have to do to get a divorce. But I don't think it's fair or right to lead someone on and you're still technically married. It doesn't make any sense to me. To me, it's just selfish, and it's just not right. Point blank, period. There's no other way to say it. Just no reason for it. You know what I mean? If you really into that person, or the person's into you, just do the right thing and get a divorce. But if you're not, and you're doing it for your own selfish reasons, just to play the field and just be single and just try to like do whatever you want and then decide to go back to your wife or husband, you're wrong. You're wrong for that, and you're wrong for doing that to the other person, leading that person on, thinking that he or she has hope that you guys are gonna be together and get married and have a family, when in your mind that's not the case. But when it's her or his mind, they're thinking that you guys are going to be together, and which is just not right. It is just not fair. It is very selfish. Me personally, if I was single and I dated someone and they told me that they were separated, I'd run for the hills. I'm like, no, I'm good. Because I know how it ends. You know what I mean? You start dating that person, you get to know each other, and then you start, feelings get involved and stuff like that, and then you sleep together, and then next you know it, he tells you, I think I'm gonna work things out with my wife. I'm like, come again? You know what I mean? That's how it happens. You know what I mean? I know people go to say, people that know me say, oh, you watch too much TV show, or you watch too much Dateline and Lifetime and stuff like that. But it truly do happen, because I've seen friends of mine who's friends with other people that happened to them, and then they tell me the story. So it does happen. You know what I mean? My good best friend told me that this woman is dating a man that is married but separated for years, and he has a kid by this woman, and he has already full grown kids already from his wife, but they're still married. My thing is, why not get a divorce? That's just mind-boggling to me. Why not get a divorce? Just get a divorce. If you're gonna date someone or sleep around with someone, get a divorce. But no, this man is technically still married, but having sex with another woman, and is still married, and probably having sex with his wife. What the heck? What the heck is going on? It's just stupid to me. So my advice to you is run for the hills. And if you have a friend or a family member that's going through this, please advise them that it's not gonna end well. It's not gonna end well. They're not going to leave their wife. They're not gonna leave their husband. It's just gonna string you along unless you actually see that the finalized divorce, then end it. Cut it off right away, because I'm telling you, someone will get hurt, and most likely it's going to be you, and it's just not right. It's just not right. So if you have a friend that's going through this situation, and these men or women are just saying all these sweet talks to you, run for the hills, because 9 out of 10, they don't leave their wife or husband. They really don't. And then they're just stringing that person along, which is just not fair and right. And it just disgusts me. It really disgusts me. And I'll advise any single men, single ladies, do not date a man or a woman that's separated at all. Run for the hills, date someone that's single, that you don't have to deal with any drama, any headaches, any nonsense. Point blank, period. If you really love this YouTube channel, please subscribe to my video, and please comment below and tell me what you think about this video. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening to my YouTube channel, Cheryl Mulder Unfiltered Real Talk, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a blessed night.